Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Raw Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling action from Monday Night Raw, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2554 of the show. What's going on, everybody? Just got finished up doing a Raw live reaction. I want to thank Brandon Martin for letting me try to host the show, but Jordan thankfully came in on time, and I was going to end up hosting the show with William, and William had to leave early until Jordan came back, and it looks like he came back in time to Jordan came back in time to host the show. I'm very, very happy about that. So thank you, Jordan, and thank you, Brandon, for at least allowing me to try to get the stream together and all that. But you got my back on the wallpaper thing, which I was concerned. Like, we gotta change the wallpaper. I don't have anything. I was gonna go get a wallpaper myself, but Brandon, it was your channel. And hopefully you made it home safe, my man. And I want to thank Jordan also for hosting for me, because I was going to handle things myself, but like I said, timing is everything. You got sometimes, and you get concerned. You're like, okay, I got to host a show and see what happens here. So, and all that, but it's a good thing that Jordan came in, and I'm very, very happy about that. So, very happy. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, shall we? It's a fallout from Wrestlepalooza Part 1, because the other Part 2 will be on SmackDown. As you know, NXT will be having their pay-per-view this coming Saturday. No Mercy. Now, as you know, tomorrow night on NXT, huge title match. Title for title. Trick Williams, Obafemi. And as you know, TNA wrestlers and personalities are not very happy with this decision. So, I got a feeling that something might happen tomorrow night or No Mercy. It all depends on what happens. So, we'll get that. Now, everybody on the Division has arrived. LA Knight has arrived in the arena. But as LA Knight arrived, you turn around, Rusev is getting into Dominic Mysterio's face. And if I were Dominic Mysterio, I would put that Intercontinental title up, boy. But then Cody Rhodes kicked off Monday Night Raw, addresses the Evansville crowd. He was talking about how he survived against Drew McIntyre. The Vision interrupts him with Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins says, this watch, you gave it to me. Is it a gift and all that? Then Cody Rhodes goes, we face each other in 3 matches. Who won all 3 of them? So, and basically Seth Rollins, then he walks away. And then I thought Braun Breaker and Braun Strowman attack him, but Paul Heyman says, no, let him pass. So there's that. Jimmy Uso was talking to Jay Uso, his brother, and Jay's still upset at LA Knight. He says, I decided to I was going to have us a rematch against the Brawns, but you decided to have a match against LA Knight. He said, I'm not going to be satisfied until I beat LA Knight, and that's what he wants. And then they had a no disqualification 6-man tag match to kick off the action. The War Raiders teaming up with Penta versus the New Day and Grayson Waller, a.k.a. Mo, Larry, and Curly. And it was a no disqualification matchup. They used kendo sticks, tables, and everything else. But in the end, Grayson Waller and the War Raiders Penta and the War Raiders, picked up the victory. Then Dominic Mysterio whines to Finn Balor about how Rusev is causing him problems. Why don't you ask your amigos, El Grande Americano? Well, he's in Mexico, he says. And then he asks J.D. McDonough, then Roxanne Perez convinces him to help Dominic. I'm saying, when Liv Morgan comes back, she's going to straighten out this whole Judgment Day mess. Because ever since Liv Morgan, I thought she kept the team together. This is what happens when you turn against Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley and kick them out of the group. Because Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley had the Judgment Day well organized until until Finn Balor came in. Finn Balor started adding JD McDonough and Carlito and Dominic, and all that. I'm telling you right now, that is, really, I think Finn Balor is to blame for what happened to him in Judgment Day. That's my opinion. But anyways, so JD McDonough goes, okay, fine, I'll fix the Rusev problem. And then Bayley was talking to Lara Valkyria. I said, can you be out there for me? And Bayley's like the Bayley of old. And so it's just something. So there's something going on. Anna Pierce introduces the new Women's World Champion, Stephanie Vaquer. She addresses the Evansville crowd. And her father was there, and which Wrestlepalooza was her father's first time seeing Stephanie Vaquer wrestle here in the States. So really excited that, their family can get together. It was really cool. Cool moment. And then Nikki Bella and Rhea Ripley in the back congratulating Vaquer, and he says, anytime you want a shot, he says, Mommy, I'm ready. And then the Kabuki Warriors, mainly Asuka, interrupted Stephanie Vaquer, because and he goes, you better be careful, Rhea, because I'll show you why we're not ready for Asuka. And then she goes, I'm sick of you. I'm challenging you to a match. And then she goes, fine. And then Kairi saying, I'm sorry. But I think Asuka's being a bully to Kairi, like a big sister bullying a little sister. And then Bayley went one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. Bayley won the matchup, and Lara Valkyria made sure that Raquel Rodriguez didn't get involved during the matchup. And then Valkyria was celebrating, hugs Bayley, and then Bayley pushes her down, starts yelling, you won the match, you won my match. What is going on? Jekyll and Hyde, as Joe Tessitore quite put it. Cody Rhodes talked to Jimmy Uso and said, hey, how you doing? How about your brother? He said, well, he won't listen to me, maybe he'll listen to you. And so after the commercial break, Cody Rhodes talks to Jay Uso. Jay Uso says, I'm doing my thing, I'll be alright. And Cody Rhodes was talking to him and giving him some advice. He says, okay, yeah, Uso, I will. Then Rusev went up against J.D. McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio couldn't get involved during the matchup. When Rusev got J.D. McDonough the accolade, Rusev won the matchup. Finn Balor comes to McDonough's aid, starts yelling at Dominic Mysterio. But I'm starting to think that Dominic Mysterio cares more about his championships than the Judgment Day. Even though the Judgment Day has the tag team titles, but I think Dominic Mysterio cares about his championships. And that will lead to an Intercontinental title match next week. Dominic Mysterio defending against Rusev. Hope Rusev beats him for that championship. And then Jackie Redmond interviewed LA Knight. LA Knight was addressing Jey Uso. So Jey Uso went one-on-one with LA Knight. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker tried to get involved during the matchup. But Jey Uso ended up winning the matchup. And then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed after the match tried to go after Knight, but Jimmy Uso comes out with a chair. Becky Lynch was talking to Seth Rollins, and then she said it. I'm not the one who was saying I'm the best wrestler in the world. Sports Illustrated said, if that woman, Becky Lynch, says Sports Illustrated one more time, they should call her up and ask her to pose for next year's swimsuit issue and have her be the cover girl. I mean, she does look good in bikini, but I used to have a crush on her. No longer. Io Sky is better than Becky Lynch, in my personal opinion. Then Io Sky confronts Asuka about, he called this matchup, but then as Asuka says the match is still on, Asuka asks Kairi Sane to talk to her, and Kairi saying I will, and then Asuka yells for Kairi. Then Io Sky went to Rhea Ripley to call off the match, but Rhea Ripley says no, but I hope we could beat some respect to each other like you and I had, and then Io understands where Rhea was coming from. And then they got Los Americanos promo. That's right. The other two Americano, they'll be known as Los Americanos. And they're the hero of the Mexican people. I miss Dan. Dan's the little hero in Mexican people was pretty funny. The Gasman, I will cut your hair at Triple Mania, you be bald. Anyways. So Maxine Dupree talks to Anna Pierce. I think she either wants a women's intercontinental title shot or a women's world title shot against Debbie McCare, but or is she speaking on behalf of Natty? So, Natalia. So, but looks like Anna Pierce believes more in Maxine Dupree. So, and then AJ Styles and Dragon Lee approached Pierce about the Los Americanos, and I'm petty. You know how I feel, and they say fine. And Anna Pierce says I'll take that into consideration. Then the main event match of Rhea Ripley one-on-one with Asuka could play a role in the women's division here. And it was a great matchup. Kairi Sane tried to get involved, but didn't. And Rhea Ripley ended up winning the matchup. And then Asuka went to Rhea Ripley, spit mist in her eyes, and starts attacking her. It forces Kairi Sane to attack her. And then it got to the point where Io Sky came out, and Io Sky says, please knock it off. And then Asuka's like, okay, fine, we'll hug it out. They hug it out, and then Asuka hits her with a back fist and starts attacking Io, and then tells Kairi to get on Io's cage, and then Kairi attacks Io, and then they went up to do the elbow. When Rhea Ripley tried to get up, couldn't see it. Asuka knocks her out, and then tells Kairi to go, grabs Io, tells Kairi to go up, do the insane elbow, and it seems to me that Kairi's been given no choice. If I were Kairi, I would, during a tag match, I would walk out on Asuka. Because poor Kairi, that poor girl is very sweet, and she doesn't need to be bullied. If anybody made me take a side, I'd say, screw you, clothesline, choke slam both of you. You don't like it, you can come fight me, and I'll beat you, and if you think you're going to beat me, I'll put you in a gurney. I don't care. That's what I would do. People tell me to pick a side when it comes to fights and all that. I would say, screw you both, get out. In physical fights, religious, that's a different story. But anyways, I'm always on God's side. So I praise God about that. However, as far as wrestling is concerned, as far as professional wrestling, if I was a wrestler and chose to pick a team, I'd be going, screw you both. I'm going after championships, and just walk away. You're going to regret this, Lima. No, you're going to regret this. Screw you. I'm going to fart in your face. Anyways. That's how I feel. Anyways. That's all the time we have on this episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 2554 show. Raw Event Center. Fallout from Wrestlepalooza. Let's see. Tomorrow, play some high rollers and possibly another VPA. Because my other shirt's going to come in tomorrow. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do my 8th edition of Renegade Shenanigans, folks. Got a lot to get off my chest and a lot to talk about. So just tune in tomorrow on the live. I will do my live stream on YouTube, and that's the thing. So I will see you all later. You guys have a good night, folks. Have a good night, and until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.